Looks like Billy left us a treasure map.
Oh, look at that.
Not only that,
This map looks new.
He plotted out the whole trip.
Billy thought DB landed right here.
In this age, we're obsessed with media. It's hard not to involve yourself with social media, tabloids, and celebrity gossip. It's everywhere we go. So it can be hard to imagine a celebrity just disappearing into thin air, particularly when people are watching your every single move. However, these vanishing acts happen, and they've happened on multiple occasions. So today on Top 10 Beyond the Screen, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 10 celebrities who mysteriously disappeared. Let's jump in. Coming in at 10, Ozzy Osbourne. In 2016, The Sun posted an article alleging that Black Sabbath rocker Ozzy Osbourne was missing after claims surfaced that his marriage to wife Sharon Osbourne was ending over a rumoured infidelity. However, the missing persons case didn't last long, 3 hours to be exact, with reports quickly surfacing that the singer was well and fine in Los Angeles. His wife Sharon addressed their marriage breakdown during an episode of The Talk, stating, "I'm 63 years of age and I can't keep living like this." However, stranger still, the couple were spotted just days later together looking rather chummy, sparking rumours that Ozzy's disappearance and their supposed split was just a publicity stunt. Strange. Coming in at 9, DB Cooper. We all know of DB Cooper, and if you don't, well, I'm here to fill you in. On Thanksgiving Eve 1971, DB Cooper purchased a ticket under the alias Dan Cooper and proceeded to hijack Flight 305, which was bound for Seattle. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper told the flight attendant that he had explosives in his possession, demanding $200,000 and 4 parachutes, otherwise he would detonate. Authorities paid the ransom and gave Cooper the parachutes, and after refueling he was headed to Mexico City. However, after only 30 minutes into the flight, he jumped from the plane, not far from Mount St. Helens in Washington State. Cooper was never found, but on top of that, his real identity still remains a mystery. In July 2016, a documentary was aired on the History Channel about DB, where they named Robert Rackstraw as the man behind the mask. However, the FBI didn't pursue him, so who DB Cooper is still remains a mystery to this day. Coming in at 8, Randy Quaid. Now this one is just bizarre. Randy Quaid was an Academy Award nominated actor who fled with his wife to Canada in 2010 in an attempt to seek asylum from a group they referred to as Hollywood star whackers, who were allegedly out to kill him. Now their escape to Canada resulted in a lot of illegal activities by the couple, which included using fake credit cards to pay for hotels, as well as squatting in one of their former homes. According to CNN, the couple were eventually granted permission to stay in Canada in 2011, with his wife managing to get citizenship because her father was born in the country. Randy's request, however, was denied in 2013. In October of 2015, Randy was detained by Canadian immigration officials and was set to be deported back to the US later that month. Crazier still, he and his wife were arrested while trying to sneak back into the States through Vermont. Bizarre. Coming in at 7, Andrew Koenig. Back in the day, Andrew Koenig was the star of the popular show Growing Pains. However, on February 14, 2010, his parents reported him missing after he failed to board a flight from Vancouver to Los Angeles. His body was eventually discovered by friends in a Vancouver park, with Koenig having reportedly committed suicide. According to reports, the actor had stopped taking his depression medication and was in a lot of pain leading up to his death. Following the tragedy, Koenig's parents spoke openly to the media about suicide, stating, "Before you make that final decision, check it out again and talk to someone. There are people out there who really care. Remember, if you or someone you know is having suicidal thoughts, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline." We'll link it below. Coming in at 6, Richard Stanley. Richard Stanley, for those who don't know, was hired as the director of the 1996 film The Island of Dr. Moreau. However, he was fired after just 3 days of filming, with strange stories and events quickly surfacing from the film's set. The Telegraph reported that Stanley was escorted onto a flight from the remote location in Australia, with him set to land in Los Angeles. However, when the flight landed, he wasn't on board. More interesting still, a month later, some of the extras from the film discovered him living rough in the jungle, with the report stating that he fled from the airport and was living on yams and coconuts at a fruit plantation. But guys, it gets even weirder. He then teamed up with the extras in order to get back onto set, and he did this by dressing up in a dog hybrid costume. Yeah, that happened. Coming in at 5, Patrick McDermott. The disappearance of Patrick McDermott captivated the media back in 2005 when he went missing during a fishing trip. The once boyfriend of Olivia Newton-John was rumoured to have disappeared in order to escape debt and money he owed in unpaid child support, with him reportedly spotted numerous times through the years. One specific occasion was in 2006 when owners of a cafe told a private investigator that McDermott visited their place of business with a mystery blonde. Later in March 2016, it was alleged that McDermott was alive and well and that he was living in a remote village in Mexico with his German girlfriend. However, none of this has been confirmed. Newton-John seemed to get over it though when she married John Easterling in 2008. Good for her. Why wait around? Coming in at 4, Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa was a union official presiding for over 10 years. He was, of course, corrupt and involved in a lot of organised crime, which resulted in him going to prison in 1967 while still retaining his presidency over the Teamsters. He eventually resigned his post in 1971 in order to gain release from prison as well as a pardon from then President Nixon. Now, Hoffa was last seen outside a Detroit restaurant where it was rumoured he was meeting 2 organised crime bosses. Folks don't learn, do they? Following his disappearance, he was declared dead in 1982, but the circumstances have always remained suspicious. It has, however, been established that he was killed by mobsters the day he vanished, even though his body was never found. One story states that he was buried in a shallow grave on a vacant lot 20 miles from where he was last seen. However, this was never proven. Coming in at number 3, Nick Stahl. In the early 2000s, Nick Stahl was a big name actor, starring in films like In the Bedroom alongside Marissa Tomei. Now in May 2012, it was reported that Stahl was missing amid rumours that he had been frequenting Skid Row in the downtown area of Los Angeles. Word very quickly got out, spreading across the media instantly. Not long after, Stahl emailed a handful of his friends, claiming he was planning to go to rehab, with TMZ confirming that he did indeed turn up at a rehabilitation centre, because they seem to know everything. However, not long after, Stahl went missing again after checking out of rehab, against his doctor's wishes. His wife Rose told tabloids she would not actively search for her husband again, stating, "He knows exactly where home is. It's the loving thing to do for him, myself and our daughter." Thankfully, Nick reappeared and reconciled with his family, with the reports claiming he was now in a good place. However, they were wrong because things took a turn for the worse in 2013. In June of that year, the star was placed on a 5150 psychiatric hold for unknown reasons, and that very same month he was arrested when cops found him and 3 others using meth in a motel. Coming in at 2, Dorothy Arnold. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this case, Dorothy Arnold was a Manhattan heiress and socialite who disappeared at the age of 25 in December 1910 in New York City. Now, on the morning of December 12th, Arnold told her mother that she was going shopping for a dress for her sister's upcoming party. Her mother suggested she go with her, but Arnold declined, saying she would call if she found something nice. It's reported that after doing some shopping, she stopped to chat with a friend before excusing herself, saying she had to meet her mother for lunch shortly before 2 p.m. Now, this was the last time anyone saw or heard from Arnold. The family, of course, became worried when she never returned home, but not wanting media attention, chose not to call the police until weeks after her initial disappearance. They held a press conference offering a reward for any information leading to her discovery. However, no one came forward. After 75 days of investigation, the search was called off, with the prevailing rumor being that Arnold died due to a botched abortion. More interesting still, in 1916 a clinic was raided by the police and a doctor testified that Arnold did indeed die there. However, her father adamantly denies these rumors. After the death of both of her parents, it was rumored that Dorothy Arnold actually committed suicide due to her failed writing career, but nothing has ever been proven. And finally, coming in at number 1, Amelia Earhart. Perhaps the most famous missing person in history, Amelia Earhart. She became famous as both a pilot and a passenger, and her exploits in the sky made her well known around the world. Aside from aviation, she was also a teacher, author, fashion designer, a magazine editor, and a cigarette spokesman. In 1937, Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan embarked on a trip around the world. However, on July 2nd, Earhart sent out a radio message asking for help, with the pair dangerously low on fuel while flying over the Pacific Ocean. The US Coast Guard sent help, but rescuers were unable to locate the plane. Earhart and Noonan were never found, with them being declared dead in 1939 after an extensive search funded by Earhart's husband. Now, of course, the missing persons case garnered a lot of attention, with many putting forth their own theories about what might have happened. The most common belief is that the plane ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific Ocean, subsequently sinking. In 2012, researchers spent another $2.2 million million trying to prove that EARHART had crashed on an island instead of sinking to the bottom of the ocean. However, this was never proven. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any celebrities that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2, because apparently famous people just disappear all the time. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Beyond the Screen vid. And until next time, see you later.